Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercier here for Vita Hearing Care. They've made a difference in my life. They changed my life. I can hear better now, thanks to the incredible faux neck hearing aids that I have, and you can check these bad boys out, too. There's a very cool event coming up. It's a VIP lunch and listening event. It's free. It's March 19th at Mealy Cafe in Racine over the lunch hour. It's going to be very cool, but you need to reserve your spot. It's free. Call 262-800-1060, 262-800-1060. Let them change your life at Vita Hearing Care.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
10 o'clock, we have 49 degrees. It's going to be sunny and warm today with a high 65. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. At least 30 people have been rescued off the coast of the UK after two ships collided. Here's ABC's Marcus Moore.
A U.S.-flagged oil tanker and a Portuguese container ship collided. And we've seen some images that show what appears to be two vessels on fire and thick black smoke billowing into the air.
Happened near Hull, northeast of London. No sign of a University of Pittsburgh college student who went missing last week on vacation in the Dominican Republic. Sadiksha Kananki, who's a resident of Virginia and an Indian citizen, was there on spring break, and an international effort now underway to find her. More from ABC's Ariel Reshef.
Dominican authorities told ABC News it's possible Konanki may have drowned, saying they were told by her friends that a man was last seen with her on the beach and the two of them were caught in a big wave. But the sheriff of the county in Virginia, where Konanki lives, says it's too early to make any judgments.
A Palestinian Columbia University student who helped lead protests now reportedly in federal custody. New York Post reports Mahmoud Khalil arrested by ICE agents at his campus apartment Saturday night. Khalil faces having his green card revoked as part of President Trump's crackdown on such protests at American universities. Another round of deep cleaning at Trowbridge School today. The Milwaukee school's been shuttered since last week due to high levels of lead dust throughout the building. The health department's Tyler Weber says the cleaning process is multifaceted.
We have to go through and analyze what were the failure results, what levels were they at, and then what rooms were they in.
The district says if the school meets all clearance requirements, students and staff could potentially return as soon as Friday. A Milwaukee culinary veteran proposing a new idea for the former home of Company Brewing in the city's River West neighborhood.
We've had a tremendous outpouring of community support.
Vanessa Rose's vision for the former brewery is a third space communal gathering spot for the LGBTQ+ community, complete with restaurant vendors, venue and gallery space, and a full-service bar. Rose tells WTMJ she started pursuing the project in October, but skyrocketing interest rates forced her to rethink her strategy.
I couldn't justify a $50,000 loan at 30%. That's signing up for failure.
A crowdfunding campaign begins later this month. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Two new nonstop flight options coming to Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. Spirit Airlines will begin flights from Milwaukee to Baltimore and Nashville this spring. It is also resuming flights to Los Angeles. The Los Angeles service begins May 8th, while the Baltimore and Nashville flights start the following day. An 80s pop star heads to Milwaukee this summer. Cyndi Lauper performs at the American Family Insurance Amphitheater August 3rd. The show part of Lauper's first major headlining tour in a decade. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. The deadline to avoid a government shutdown is approaching. The House is working on passing a stopgap spending bill by Friday's deadline. The bill would fund the federal government through the end of September. This all comes as the stock market is sharply lower today due to concerns about recession. Time for news now about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Nasdaq is down almost almost 4%, down 651 points at 17,540. The Dow is down 367 points at 42,434. The S&P 500 is off 113 points at 5,655. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Tariffs and the threat of their implementation have become a central part of the United States trade and foreign policy. What are tariffs? How are they implemented? And what sectors of the economy could benefit if they're put in place? Join me and Annex Wealth Management's Dave Spano, Chief Economist Brian Jacobson on March 11th at 1 p.m. for their informative webinar. Learn how your portfolio and your financial plan might be impacted and affected by tariffs. Visit the Annex Wealth Management webinar page at WTMJ.com.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Grouper Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks got crushed by the Cavaliers 112-100 from Fiserv Forum. Bucks visit the Pacers tomorrow night. Milwaukee's dropped to back-to-back games and falls to 36-27. Wisconsin basketball awaiting its Big Ten tournament opponent. Badgers enter the tourney as the 5th seed after closing up the season with a 13-7 conference record. Wisconsin will play either Northwestern or Minnesota. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Marquette basketball begins its Big East tournament run Thursday afternoon, tipping off against number 4 Xavier from Madison Square Garden. Golden Eagles enter the tourney as the 5th seed after finishing the regular season with a 13-7 conference record. And the Brewers fell to the Royals 5-2 in spring training baseball from surprise. Milwaukee now falls to 6-9 in exhibition play and will square off against the Mariners this afternoon. Taking a look at your roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. All clear as far as crashes go. We do have a disabled vehicle. This is going to be on I-43 North at the ramp from Locust Street. The right shoulder is blocked due to this vehicle, which is off right. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny and warm today, high 65. Clear, mild, breezy tonight, low of 40. Partly cloudy, cooler, breezy tomorrow. Highs 44 early, then it's going to fall to the upper 30s by the late afternoon, early evening. Partly cloudy Wednesday, high 47. Lakeside, inland 53. Partly cloudy Thursday, highs 51 to 60. And then Friday, partly to mostly cloudy, breezy. Storms likely Friday evening. High 63 Lakeside, 70 inland. Right now, 47 in Madison, 44 in Green Bay, and 49 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Wepper. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
We like to do things by the numbers. We're all about commerce and community. Welcome to the Upswing, presented by Oricon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Now for the host that's always on the upswing, Jeff Sherman.
Now, to business, gentlemen.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Hope your Monday is off and running well. I'm always excited to start the week with a preview of the week ahead, right? You gotta know what's coming. I mean, is that even possible in these economic times? I'm not sure, but we're gonna get a creative look into the markets, money, and more with Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management. Maybe we can help you navigate these murky times a little bit. We'll ask Dave some of the big questions, right? It's a year brimming in a little bit more risk, but there could be big rewards ahead. What's the end game with tariffs? Where are we heading? Uncertainty isn't good, but maybe it is. I'm just not quite sure. President Trump seemingly wants a little bit more control over the Fed and interest rates. Seemingly has told Jerome Powell that, hey, let's cut rates. There hasn't been a rate cut yet, but asset prices are crashing a bit. And, maybe we're in this battle between the president and the Fed. And if so, how are we as consumers, as customers, as a global economy supposed to look at it all? And how will it affect our retirement? Big questions for sure. Risk and reward. That's what it's all about. I'm excited to not only talk risk and reward with Dave, but look at the risks and rewards and reflect a little bit on the first 4 months of Dr. Kimo Ayun's presidency at Marquette University. Dr. Ayun will join us in the second half of the show and reflect on his first several months in office. We're going to learn about his unique personal journey to Marquette. I'm really excited to start a regular feature with him. He's a great guy. You're going to get to know him. We're going to tell some stories. We'll learn about all that's new at Marquette University and get some insight on some meetings that he's had recently that may give some further insight into the economics of higher education. But first, as we do each and every morning, let's go to Up.
Now it's time for the Two Up on the Upswing.
Two things in and around the business world that I'm seeing that you need to know about right now. Number one, here come the chatbots. So Meta, right, is the owner of Facebook and Instagram, Threads. It's stepping up its efforts to encourage businesses to use its chatbots in Messenger and WhatsApp by integrating the AI capabilities and enhancing the user experiences. Meta is going to launch a dedicated AI chatbot section within WhatsApp that will allow businesses to leverage AI tools for customer service and engagement. This is going to include customizable AI bot creation. It will automate tasks like customer inquiries and personalized product recommendations. Now, without signing up for an account, I couldn't find exact pricing on this, but I thought it was interesting for small and medium-sized businesses. Now you pay per conversion with chatbots through Meta. But beginning April 1st, the pricing is going to shift a bit to a per message model. Seems like a somewhat creative way to boost revenue, that's for sure. Interesting, you look at how people use AI and chatbots. 71% in a recent survey said they want to be nicer to AI and chatbots. Because simply, it's nice to be nice. People seemingly believe that when you're nice to chatbots and say please and thank you, it leads to better responses. And they have a little bit of a fear when they're using chatbots that if you're not nice, it could lead to a bad response. Interesting to see how Meta continues to use chatbots for sure. Second up, Rocket companies. Rocket Mortgage, certainly you've heard of Rocket Mortgage. They've agreed this morning to acquire Redfin, the real estate listings platform, in an all-stock deal valued at $1.75 billion. Rocket's CEO said that the acquisition will connect Rocket Mortgage products to the nearly 50 million monthly visitors that browse home listings on Redfin, and it will allow Redfin's data to integrate into Rocket's AI products. The deal set to close later this year. The Redfin CEO, Glenn Kehlman, will remain in his role, saying that it will just simply make real estate better for others, not just ourselves. This is his life's work, he says. Our goal is to guide people through that first step of their search, but all the way home through the sale, the loan, and then the lifetime of accumulating equity and wealth. Two big real estate companies coming together, maybe a bit for the greater good, but ultimately all about the data. When we come back, Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management, joins. We're talking tariffs, economy, and more. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Spanning the State with Kristen Bry.
This is a terrible bill. You know, this would probably disproportionately affect Republican women. This is a slippery slope if you start making it harder for women to vote, because there's enough people out there who would rather we didn't.
And Brian Noonan.
Say women were in charge, and this was going for men. Men would take to the streets. Any group that votes against their own self-interest baffles me.
Weekdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Only on WTMJ.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. This is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman speaking on behalf of my good friends at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank, they've been doing banking differently since 1896. How? Your financing requests, they can be approved in days. You don't have to wait weeks because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand, providing top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. Horicon Bank, they get the job done. Together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business grow. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Eric Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Eric can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix-It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
The work week is here. Let's begin with your Monday market preview with Jeff Sherman and Dave Spano.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. We are joined by Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management, as we are each and every Monday. Dave, always appreciate your time. How are you this morning?
Happy Monday. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So it feels like, and maybe this is just me, Dave, but a lot of reading this weekend, a lot of different sources. Feels like we're in a bit of a calm before a storm. And so I wanted to ask you, because I don't know myself, like, what is the end game with tariffs? Where are we heading? And ultimately, is it all about maybe a little bit of a fight between the Fed and the president?
Yeah, I think there's a lot there, and it's a really good question. So let's talk about, the tariffs. When Trump came in, he said he's going to use these tools. And as you know, I've been saying this since November, he's going to use these economic tools to try to achieve non-economic outcomes, namely immigration and trying to stop the flow of drugs into the United States. And so there is a third step now to that, and that is these reciprocal tariffs. In other words, if a country is charging us 25 or 50% for a product to come in, and we're charging 5% for it to go out, that's not reciprocal. So all of these tools are in place to try to get to those things. And so, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the other day that, maybe we're going through a little detox to wean off the dependence on public spending. So I think all of this is in play. And, what is the final outcome? if at the end of the day the United States is better because there's more manufacturing onshoring, there's less illegal immigration coming in, there's less illegal drugs coming in, and all of that leads to higher GDP, well, then it could have a good outcome. Now, nobody knows that. Not Trump, not me, not you, not even Congress, right? So we're going to have to see this play out. But the second part of that question is, and I think that's a really good question, is does it have an effect on monetary policy? And what you're seeing now, because of this inconsistency, right? Tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs with exemptions, that's also limiting monetary policy support for right now. So the Fed is taking this wait and see mode. Fed Powell has indicated that until he sees more light at the end of the day, he wouldn't suggest a rate cut. But there is light in the way we're looking at it through our investment team. We do see light at the end of the tunnel, but there's certainly obviously some rough spots, as you can see, as the market has certainly begun to vibrate all over the place since the beginning of the year.
Because markets and businesses, to an extent, want certainty. And you're never going to get 100% certainty, but does this create enough uncertainty that there's too much fluctuation for businesses and markets?
Yeah, I think what all you're seeing right now is not too much. I think what you're seeing is businesses saying, okay, we're going to hold off on two things. Number one, on hiring and on capital expenditures are called CapEx. So if they do those two things and hold back spending, then you're going to see a growth scare in the United States. And we certainly saw part of that because you saw that GDP print that we talked about last week, which was negative. Now, a big part of that is because all of these companies said, I want to import all of my goods before these tariffs kick in. So we had this huge surge of imports into the United States. Well, that lowers GDP to begin with, but it can raise GDP when all of that imports become inventory and they get sold, because that's the reason why they did it. Those two things could mean that we have a big, nice GDP print later in the year.
Yeah. Well, when we come back, I want to ask you, Dave, are there companies that actually are calling for tariffs? It seems like a lot of the noise, if you will, is like, oh, tariffs bad, prices go up. But there's got to be industries that are saying, yes, we want tariffs because of this. And when you rope it all together, how do tariffs then affect our retirement? This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to...
Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone!
Spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Back again and gone again for Hoskins.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants Friday at 3. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Debbie Loziga here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get $1,000 off your Luckstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car, better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined by Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management. So, Dave, I want to continue our tariff talk here. And what other industries are actually saying, hey, tariffs provide us with the shield that we need to look into our business that would actually increase our business?
Yeah, do you watch the Sunday morning news talk shows ever? So yesterday morning, UAW President Sean Fain, who was no fan of Trump, and in fact supported Vice President Harris in her election run, said he's all for it. And why is, with the UAW, the Auto Workers Union, why would they be in support of that? Because when, for example, someone imports a BMW into this country, there is a small tariff, but we turn around and ship a Cadillac to Germany, and there's a big tariff. And right, so that's the unfair tariffs that Trump is talking about, and to make them reciprocal. So Sean Fain said he's all for it, which obviously had the Democrats on their heels because he's a big Democrat supporter. So there's one. I would say the auto tariffs would be one part of that. And the second would be, steel industry. So the Chinese have been dumping steel here in this country for a long time. And so that has really put manufacturers, think about, the steel areas like Pittsburgh and other places, that has really put them at a disadvantage. And so let me bring this all together. So, this USMCA, United States, Mexico, China trade agreement, that was, the reworked NAFTA, right? And so this is in place. And the reason why he's fighting a little bit, part of this, I think, with Mexico and Canada, is because the Chinese, they're going to try their workaround. And what they're going to try to do is send that steel to Mexico and then Mexico into the United States to avoid those tariffs. So those are two things that I would watch for sure. The auto industry, probably the pharmaceutical industry, the steel industry, and again, the rework of the USMCA is all part of this. So there is, even though there is, some volatility in the market right now, a lot of the analysts that we're talking to say there's some really good things down the road that could move the market in the right direction, and that is to extend the tax cuts. I know there's going to be a lot of talk about giving billionaires tax breaks. It's extending the current tax cuts. That would be number one. Number two, that the Fed actually kicks back in to their easing that they have been doing. So look for July, that maybe there will be a rate cut. And of course, corporate profits are expected to be up in 2025, not down. So those three things all could be catalysts to the market in the second half of the year.
Yeah. I saw a survey over the weekend that 36% of workers who aren't self-employed plan to retire at 70 or older. 53% say they plan to continue to work in retirement. How does all the tariff talk and, again, a little bit of the uncertainty play into our retirement portfolios?
Yeah, so I would think there's one thing that you don't like to do, and I don't want to get too geeky into the rules, but if you start taking money out when your portfolio is down, it starts to eat into the portfolio, right? So starting to take your withdrawals, if you retire in 2025, when the markets are down, it's not optimum. right? It's not a great outcome. So you do want to try to kick that down the road. That is kind of the reason why you hear some people saying, until we get more of an all clear sign, we are not going to retire in 2025. That's the general knee-jerk reaction. But what I would say, on average, people, what they say and what they do are really different. Only 20% of people are working longer than 60, are older than 65. Only 20%. And of those 20%, some of them are finding purpose in work. And so they do go to work, not because they need a paycheck, because they don't want to sit home and have a honey-do list longer than their arms. And so they find something to do, and it could be something that's meaningful to them, that is aligned with their values. So they go, maybe they volunteer, maybe they get a job, maybe they're a Walmart greeter, but something that is aligning with their values of helping other people. That's really what we're seeing. A big part of the 1/5 of the people who continue to work after age 65.
Yeah. All right. What are we looking at in terms of numbers to watch and releases this week?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of data that comes out this week. One of the things that, if I can take a minute here, tomorrow we're going to do tariffs, how they affect portfolios. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, myself, Dr. Brian Jacobson, our chief economist, and your own Steve Scafidi will be doing a webinar. You can go to annexwealth.com/events and sign up for that. It's interactive. So, Steve will be in the studio, as will Dr. Brian and I, and we'll take some of these questions and we'll spend some more time to get deeper into that. So, but again, tariff talk for sure is going to be part of that. We're going to look for more economic data. This negative GDP report that I led with early on, that is going to get people's attention. We'll see if it gets adjusted. I think that negative GDP report will be adjusted. Why? Because as we talked about on Saturday morning show, a big part of that was the gold that came in. They make that adjustment later on. So they said negative 1.5, but they didn't get to the gold adjustment yet. So a lot of really good stuff. Appreciate you having me on.
Of course. Dave Spano, CEO at Annex Wealth Management. Dave, enjoy the rest of the week. We'll talk to you again next Monday.
Thank you.
Another thing to keep an eye on, of course, S&P 500 gained more than 20% for 2 years running. Lots of fluctuation there. ABC News coming up next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has arrived for the summit in Saudi Arabia. A source close to Zelensky confirms at ABC News that Ukraine will propose a partial ceasefire that would likely apply to long-range strikes and strikes at sea, and discussions with the U.S. and Saudi Arabia that begin tomorrow. The on-again, off-again tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico are sending the markets tumbling. ABC's Karen Travers with more from the White House.
It is causing a lot of confusion on Wall Street, uncertainty for American businesses who, of course, have to handle that higher cost when they're bringing these products into the country. And experts and economists are warning that cost, of course, gets passed on to American consumers.
Right now, the Dow is down 390 points, the S&P down 114. Moody's chief economist Mark Zandi tells ABC that the risk of the U.S. economy falling into a recession early next year is growing. At the start of the year, chances were 15%, now 35%. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. A teenage girl in unknown condition after being shot Sunday in Sun Prairie. 16-year-old female was found by police shot in a home on South Bird Street. A 19-year-old, Javon Rufus, named a person of interest and is in custody. Two are dead. One person recovering after a shooting at Milwaukee's Deneen Park. A 19-year-old man died at a hospital from his injuries. A second 19-year-old man later expected to survive. In another part of Milwaukee, after the shooting, a 26-year-old man was found dead in a vehicle, likely injured in the same incident. No injuries or property damage after a marsh fire ignited in Brookfield. A grass fire behind Soren's Ford car dealership reported around 1:40 p.m. Sunday. Brookfield Fire Department evacuated the surrounding area as a precaution. Officials say the fire spread from Brookfield Road west to the Fox River and from Capitol Drive north to Compton Lane. Limited access and high winds made the fire difficult to put out, but they finally got it handled by about 6:15 p.m. Time for some news now about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow down 346 points, 42,454. NASDAQ down 563, 17,632. S&P 500 down 106 at 5,666. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. Still clear as far as crashes go. We do have a disabled vehicle off right blocking the shoulder, I-43 north at the ramp from Locust Street. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Sunny, warm today, high 65. It'll be clear and mild tonight with a low of 40. Partly cloudy, cooler, breezy tomorrow. High 44, then dropping to the upper 30s. Partly cloudy Wednesday, highs 47 to 53 inland. Partly cloudy Thursday, highs 51 to 60 inland. And then Friday, partly to mostly cloudy, breezy storms likely in the evening. High Friday, 63 lakeside and 70 inland. Right now, 47 in Madison, 44 in Green Bay, and 49 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
Are you looking for a new car or truck? Well, good news. Inventories have really improved lately, and I have a few ideas to help you find the vehicle of your dreams. I'm Jim Token, president of Adam, the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. The first step to getting that car of your dreams is to visit any of the 115 Adam member dealerships, where you can see their selection in person and take test drives. You can also find out about the new cars they have on order and reserve the one you want. Or if you really want to get the exact car you're dreaming of, they can order it for you. It might take a few weeks for delivery, but hey, wouldn't it be nice to have the perfect vehicle built just for you? This is your chance. Plus, if you're thinking of trading in your current car or ending your lease early, you'll be amazed at what dealers are offering. And if you prefer to handle the negotiations and paperwork remotely, no problem. Most Adam dealers will even bring cars to you for test drives. So don't wait. Start your search now. Find an Adam member dealer near you at adamm.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Tariffs and the threat of their implementation have become a central part of the United States trade and foreign policy. What are tariffs? How are they implemented? And what sectors of the economy could benefit if they're put in place? Join me and Annex Wealth Management's Dave Spano, Chief Economist Brian Jacobson on March 11th at 1 p.m. for their informative webinar. Learn how your portfolio and your financial plan might be impacted and affected by tariffs. Visit the Annex Wealth Management webinar page at WTMJ.com.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Happy Monday. Again, hope your day is off and running well. Good week ahead for sure. Dr. Kimo Ayun is closing in on 4 months at the head of Marquette University. He was elected the 25th president of Marquette University by the Marquette Board of Trustees at a special board meeting in November. Dr. Ayun, I appreciate your time and being in studio this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So are you over the big loss, the tough loss to St. John's on Saturday?
Yeah, you know, that hurt me bad there.
I know.
Thought I was getting over that one. Tough loss. You know, St. John's is an incredible team, and the team really showed a lot of grit. We were there at the end. Here's the great thing. We're heading out to the Big East tomorrow. We get to play Xavier on Thursday, and after we win that one, likely get to play St. John's on Friday.
Very good. Yes, indeed. You know, wins and losses, it all kind of comes out and it works out the way it's meant to. Looking forward to a big tournament. I was there with an incoming freshman that was his first game, and so he's so excited to be coming to Marquette in the fall and just like met a ton of people, and the smiles on his face was like, for me, that was worth it.
Yeah, we're excited about our new class. We're building that right now. A lot of potential students, so we're at the game, and we'll continue to get towards May 1, which is deposit day. Yeah. Looking forward to another successful Marquette class.
Very good. So I wanted to just get a bit of your backstory for people that haven't had the opportunity to hear it. You're native of Compton, California, right?
Yep. Born in Compton.
You grew up in Sacramento. Just tell us a bit about your family and growing up.
Yeah, I'm a first-generation college student, just happened to be at circumstances. Neither of my parents graduated from high school. 2 of my 4 sisters did not graduate from high school. I was the only one who ended up going to college. Mm-hmm. Got into education. It was something that suited me. ended up carving out a really successful life. I'm so grateful for everything higher education does. Really changed the trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a result of my experience, I have 2 of my children will be graduating college next month.
Nice.
And then my youngest will be a Marquette student starting in the fall. She'll be a freshman. She's really excited to be part of the Marquette family.
Wow. Well, that's great. I mean, as a father of a junior, we have a 12-year-old at home too. It's fun to see that process and how they decide and what they want to do, and to be able, to help cultivate the young minds for sure. What was your plan, if you can think about it, post high school? What did you want to do?
So I did not have a plan. And when we talk about first-generation college students, that's the problem, is you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I did not even know about applying for colleges until about April of my high school senior year, when my friends started telling me which colleges they were going to. If you've never had anybody be part of that, you do not know you're supposed to apply and get accepted and plan there. I thought it was like public high school. You showed up and you went.
Yeah.
So I took a year off. I did not go to college for a year, and then started a year at my local state college and never left. Stayed there all the way through my PhD program.
All right. So then what was your first job then? Where?
Yeah. So, post graduating out of my PhD program, Michigan State.
Okay.
I headed back out to California, did my undergraduate at California State University, Sacramento. Was fortunate to be able to be hired on as a professor there.
Okay.
I worked there for 20 years as a professor. Thought I would retire from that university. Did not end up being that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about that when we come back. How did Marquette and Milwaukee get on your radar? And what was that first experience in that interview in Milwaukee? We're talking with Dr. Kimo Ayun, president of Marquette University. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 5-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
Tell us a little bit about Innovative Signs.
We're located out in Waukesha. Where we are really focused mostly is manufacturing outdoor electrical signs.
You came to Horicon Bank. How do you think other local businesses can benefit?
When I call, Michelle picks up the phone, and when I email, she responds in a timely manner. A few years ago, I talked to my accountant about shopping around looking for a different bank just to get some alternatives, and he said, absolutely not. You're not going to like working for a big bank. They have a lot more regulations. So that's how we got involved with Cornerstone Bank. When Horicon purchased Cornerstone, we came along for the ride, and it's been great.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Looking to escape the winter chill? Fox World Travel has you covered. Whether it's an all-inclusive vacation with Apple Vacations, a luxurious Princess Cruise, or a European adventure with Globus and Avalon, we create unforgettable experiences just for you. Enjoy last-minute deals, exclusive offers, and personalized itineraries. From booking to boarding, we handle all the details for a stress-free trip. Ready to get out of the cold? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO and mention code RADIO to start planning your getaway today.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined by the president of Marquette University, Dr. Kimo Ayun. Dr. Ayun, I appreciate your time this morning. So you were named acting provost in 2018 and then permanent provost and executive vice president for academic affairs in 2019. But prior to Marquette, you were the associate dean of College of Letters and Arts and Letters at California State University.
Yeah.
When you got that call to come to the Midwest and interview at Marquette, walk me through that and how it all happened.
Yeah, first time I went to school in the Midwest, but went back to California, was there for 20 years. So first time they called me, I actually, the search firm, I said, look, Marquette's in Milwaukee, I live in California. Until you can change that, I'm not interested. I had 3 kids. Well, it's a son going in the 9th grade, a daughter going in the 8th, a daughter going in the 3rd. That's not a time you typically uproot your family and move from California to Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. So started not interested in even pursuing it. They persuaded me to have a conversation, and I flew out, and things changed quickly.
Yeah. What was that deciding factor, or whom?
Yeah, and I had the chance to share this story. So Mike Lovell, 24th president of Marquette, I went through the interview process, knew Marquette was a great school, met a lot of really good people, but a really tough family decision. But when I met with him and I understood his vision, it was somebody I knew I could work with. I walked out of that meeting, my very last meeting in the interview process, and called my wife and said, this suddenly got very real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and now you have the opportunity, as everyone does at Marquette, to carry on Dr. Lovell's legacy.
Yeah.
For sure. How, right now, as you look at kind of the changing times in higher education, what's your vision for Marquette University?
Yeah, a lot of change.
Yeah.
We know it's getting more competitive out here. But here's the thing. Marquette has been around for 143 years, and we've worked under the simple principle of creating men and women for and with others, about developing our students. And what we can do is just stick to our core values and our core principles and continue to move forward. Now, I will say, that being said, we have a new strategic plan that was recently passed. We're focused on how do we center on ensure our students are thriving? How do we make sure that we have a healthy campus? How do we make sure we care for the world? Those are things that for the next 6-7 years we're going to follow. But at the end of the day, we're a Catholic Jesuit institution grounded in its mission to be able to transform the lives of our students to live a more fulfilled life.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of innovation and developments, there's a lot happening in and around campus. What are some of the developments on campus that people may not be aware of?
Yeah, one of the things we're really excited about is our Student Success Initiative. We want to make sure that any student who comes to Marquette is retained, graduates. And so a few years ago, we put a special emphasis on that. As the result of that, we've set record highs of our retention. So we're keeping our students around longer, which is also going to help to increase our graduation rate. There's also other things, expanding our nursing program, our Lamona Student Success Center to take care of our students. And then lastly, on January 20th, we opened our Wellness and Rec Center, which helps us to care for our students, a full-bodied approach to mental and physical well-being.
Yeah, and the new business school has been open for a while now, but the business school in and of itself has really created a dynamic environment. As a former business school student myself years ago, just the energy within that building, it's incredible.
It's an amazing spot. And as a result, we have a greater number of students who want to come and study business than we have room for, which is an incredible place to be. It shows you how much people want to be part of Marquette University.
Yeah, very good. When we come back earlier this week, I know you met with congressional leaders on both sides of the aisle about federal funding for student financial aid and research. I want to ask you about that. And then as a parent, I'm getting so many direct mail. It's just every day. We have a junior at home, and I bet you we get 4 or 5 different direct mail pieces. So I want to talk to you about how the recruitment retention process has changed through the years and what that looks like through the Marquette lens. You're listening to The Upswing. This is WTMJ.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
How would you like to own a jewelry store?
Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy?
Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people.
Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now?
Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email.
Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's.
A fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free, 7 nights a week. Google Fox and Hounds restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Banks. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. We are joined in studio by President of Marquette University, Dr. Kimo Ayun. So this week, Dr. Ayun, you met with congressional leaders on both sides of the aisle to talk about federal funding for student financial aid and research. What did you learn? And talk to us a bit about the challenges of the process for the current students.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I learned, you start talking to people, I learned that they're opening to listening. I think about Ron Johnson, Tammy Baldwin. They're thinking about listening to understanding as how federal loans are important for our students to be able to come here. And I think about our dental students, our law students, our nursing students, people who make an immediate contribution to the economy in the state of Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt really good that they listened and they understood that we need to protect higher education. It makes Wisconsin better.
Yeah. Is it, from your lens, is it a funding thing for the university, or is it access to more avenues for incoming freshmen?
Yeah, I think it's access, right? It's the funding helps provide the access. So one of the things they're talking about are Grad Plus and Plus loans. These are loans that family use to be able to bridge the cost to make up the difference of education. We know higher education is important, and it's expensive, but it pays for itself. And we were able to demonstrate at Marquette. We retain, we graduate, we place our students, 6th in the country, and putting them into jobs. It's really helpful.
Yeah, good. I mentioned before the break that in the Sherman household, we are getting a lot of creative outreach to connect with our high school junior. I'm surprised at the number of direct mail pieces and targeted digital ads too. I mean, it's kind of fast and furious. I'm guessing that targeting of incoming freshmen is kind of a constant job at the university, and technology is changing it a lot. Can you give us just a high level of what works and maybe what doesn't?
Yeah, you're right. It's like you. I have a daughter going off to college. Lots of mail getting. Yeah, it's about getting their attention and what's going to get a student attention. If you do the same thing everyone else is doing, you're not going to get the attention.
Yeah.
We send out Wessel pretzels to our admitted
Milwaukee
students.
Pretzel Company.
Yep,
Yes,
yep.
Matt and Katie.
Yeah, and they are tremendous. They have a tremendous Marquette story.
Yeah.
There are some people who put on social media them getting their pretzels and eating with their family and getting 1 million plus hits.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stand out to get the attention? And for us, it's get them to visit Marquette. And once they do that, we're very successful because we're able to sell why we are such a special university.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And talk to us a little bit about that specialness. Like, what is that unique Marquette pride? I know my wife went to DePaul University, and I always say she's 100% Marquette by marriage. And nothing against DePaul, but we embrace Marquette and the community and all that it brings.
Yeah, it's a university that cares, and I start with our faculty and staff and how they're going to take care of our students and treat your children in a way that helps them to grow, but also having leadership who's thinking about where we need to head next, about making those important decisions to make Marquette even better. But it's a place that cares about you. You come, you will feel it. And when you graduate, Marquette alums will help take care of you.
Yeah. Teaching that servant leadership, I think, is so incredibly important, especially in this ever-changing climate that we're all living right now. What are you interested in and excited about in terms of diving in community-wise now as president?
Yeah, I think I continue to say access. How do we make sure there's access in the Milwaukee community for students to be able to come? But then outside of that, how do we use our graduates once they are through the Marquette system? How do we use our graduates to be able to help out Milwaukee? Because a strong Milwaukee results in a strong Southeast Wisconsin, and then all of us are better.
Very good. Rising tides lifts all boats. Milwaukee truly is a college town, and I don't think people think of it that way, but you look at the density of colleges and universities here and two-year schools, we really kind of punch above our weight in terms of density of students, and it's so important to recruit and then, once they graduate, retain them.
Yeah, and I'm fortunate to be able to be a group of Southeast Wisconsin presidents. We get together and we talk about what do we do collectively to strengthen the region. How do we think about AI? How do we think about data science? How do we think about the needs of the Milwaukee community? And when we're all working together, it is helpful for all of us.
Dr. Kimo Ayun, President of Marquette University, I appreciate your time, and I look forward to these regular conversations.
Thank you. Look forward to it again.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Coming up next, Wisconsin's Midday News. But first, let's do some business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce starts planning for the next version of its Region of Choice Diversity Hiring and Promotion Initiative. 130 employers voluntarily participated in the first 5-year program. Tiger Aesthetics Medical announces a $50 million plant expansion in Franklin for its silicone breast implants business. The company last year acquired the business from Sientra, which was in bankruptcy. Former Channel 12 anchorman Patrick Palantonio joins a Milwaukee corporate communications, crisis management, and public affairs firm. He's vice president at HPR.